Hey guys, welcome to Mid-Level Movie Reviews, and today we're going to talk about a movie that released, I'm pretty sure it came out on Christmas Day, but it turned out it was a huge hit over the weekend, grossed $20 million. A movie starring Adam Sandler, directed by the Safdie brothers, and is called Uncut Gems. Now, the Safdie brothers, if you all remember, back in 2017, directed a film called Good Time, which I really enjoyed that movie. It didn't make my top of the list that year, but it was a very strong film, and definitely an honorable mention. It was very well made. It was different, unlike anything I've ever seen before. Just very kinetic thrills, fast paced, doesn't stop the entire movie. Uncut Gems, I think, ups the adrenaline and the thrills in every conceivable way. And I'm getting ready to talk about it now because it's a movie that I'm still kind of trying to process. And if I think about it too hard, and this movie's been on my mind for the past 48 hours. I saw it Saturday night. It's Monday right now. And when I walked out of the theater, I was completely just moved and kind of blown away. And I wasn't sure if I had just witnessed a cinematic masterpiece. Like, I could only relate it to how people must have felt back in the 70s when they walked out of Taxi Driver. And it felt like, while I wasn't sure like if it was the best movie I've ever seen, I did feel like I had just witnessed something that was new and special and something that had never been seen before, and that in 40 years people are going to look back on this movie as something truly remarkable, like a landmark event in cinematic history. It floored me. It really did, and it's been on my mind ever since I watched it. It might be my favorite movie of the year. I don't know. I have to think about it. I have to move some things around. It's definitely probably where I'm landing on it right now in my top 10. It is just completely, when you walk into that movie and when it opens up and the first 15 minutes of that movie is loud, it's borderline obnoxious the way they play the music over like what is actually happening. And it's just such an anxiety-ridden experience. And it had me completely on edge the entire movie. And I'd already heard about it before I went in. So I'd walked in with these expectations, and I'm not going to say that it delivered on those expectations, but it did give me something that I wasn't expecting at all. And it just, I'd heard anxiety ridden. It will leave you on edge and make you nervous the entire time. I didn't totally get that until the last 30 minutes. The last 30 minutes of this movie, I had like a knot in the pit of my stomach. And I honestly felt like I was going to throw up in the theater. It was so magnificent, just the way they constructed it and the way they built to that last 30 minutes in that last scene. I think that this is probably Adam Sandler's best dramatic performance. Probably most definitely is. I do like Punch Drunk Love for what it is, but to be honest, that movie kind of confuses me narratively, and I don't really get the hype around it. Reign Over Me was a really good movie. He was great in Merowitz Stories from a couple years ago, but this is probably the top of his dramatic experience. I'm not going to say best of all time that he's ever done, because there's a lot of great Adam Sandler comedies back in the 90s. Nothing he's done in the past 20 years, obviously, but and for a while, it took me a little bit to get into his performance, because it kind of felt like it was Adam Sandler just playing a joke on everybody. Like it was goofy Adam Sandler trying to be serious. But then once you really started to understand his character and the flaws of his character and his compulsions and things that he just could not escape from and get over, and just the things he did, it's like he was juggling all these plates at once, and just you were waiting for one of them to fall and break, and they did. They definitely broke all throughout the movie. Things that he was doing was not going right, for him at least. But it just all culminated for me in such an impressive final 30 minutes. And when I walked out of it, I was like, that was an okay movie that had a fantastic final 30 minutes. And then the more I thought about it, and the more it kind of got inside my head, as a movie, I realized that those last 30 minutes would not have been possible if it wasn't for the previous hour and a half of that movie. And the only reason why I felt such a strong connection to those to that final act was because of everything they had done before. And then it started to make me recontextualize things and make me think that the Safdie brothers might be cinematic geniuses, the way they put all this stuff together. And like I said, like I really like Good Time. I think this is a definite step up from Good Time. I think that it's just a magnificent movie, and like I said, it might be in my number one movie of the year. I really enjoyed this movie, and it's definitely not for everybody. And I saw this movie with a packed theater, and it was, I guess because the holidays, the theater's packed right now. There was a lot of people in this movie theater, and I heard a lot of people when I was walking out saying that this was terrible. They couldn't believe they sat through this, and I heard so many comments. So I don't think this is a movie that's for everybody. If you like stuff that's different, if you like stuff that challenges you, that is unlike anything that you had ever seen before, I think you will enjoy this movie on some level. If you are more interested in the conventional storytelling and the conventional filmmaking, you know, if you just like regular straightforward plots and the way it's filmed, and this movie does have a straightforward plot that you can follow and understand, it's more in the filmmaking and the technique of the Safdie brothers that this movie differs so much from anything I've ever seen before. But if you like traditional filmmaking and you are kind of put off by different experiences and things that may jar you into uncomfortableness, then this might not be for you. But it was for me, and I did really enjoy it, and I highly recommend that you do see it as you're putting together your best of the year, because it is probably one of my top 10 movies of the year. I've thoroughly enjoyed this movie, and I'm going to review it tonight on my Instagram page at Mid-Level Movie Review, so I will leave my score reveal for that review, but it's definitely going to rank in the higher up category and probably score pretty high for me. I did really enjoy it, but that's going to be it for my review of Uncut Gems. So if you like this video, go ahead and leave me a like down below. Comment, did you see this film? How did you feel about it? Did you find this review helpful? If you were on the fence about seeing it. And go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But yeah, I will see you guys later. Check you out on the next review.